So, welcome to Mythology, everybody. I am so delighted to have you in this class. And as we start the semester, what I want to make clear as much as I can from the outset is what I'm talking about when I say mythology. Because the word myth connotes to a lot of people that whatever it is that's being discussed is somehow untrue or it's false. And some of the belief systems that we are going to be studying in class are living belief systems. It's true that just about nobody believes in Zeus anymore. Interestingly, though, our word, well, if you, the word deity or the word deus, if you speak Spanish, for instance, is etymologically related to Zeus. So although people don't believe in Zeus anymore, there are many people who believe in deus, who believe in God. And so the Yoruba religion of West Africa, Hinduism, these are living religions. We'll also be talking about early Palestinian religions, figures like Adam, Eve, Lilith. So the word myth doesn't necessarily mean, in the context of this class anyway, that the things that we're discussing aren't true. We're not going to get into the question of truth in the ecclesiastical, ecumenical sense in this class. What we are going to talk about, though, is the fact that these stories, these myths, have power. And in that sense, they are very true indeed. So, again, when I'm using the term mythology, when I'm calling something a myth, please don't think that I'm making any judgment one way or the other about the absolute truth of what we're talking about. For the purposes of this class, a myth is a story that has shaped people's beliefs and behaviors over time. Okay, so we are talking about mothers in the first unit of this class, the first week. And why are we doing that? Well, every human story starts with a mother. And you could equally say, well, every human story starts with a father. And we're going to talk about fathers next week. It seems, though, that humanity's oldest deities, and you'll be reading about this in the readings that I've posted to Canvas, were female. They were, as you can see from this picture, fertility figures. They often appeared with swollen breasts. They often appeared with swollen, pregnant-looking stomachs. The earliest vestiges of worship and culture that we have seem to indicate that a great goddess was worshipped. And if you think about it from a prehistoric human's perspective, it makes some sense. What women can do with their bodies is miraculous. They bleed every month, as Gloria Anzaldúa says, and don't die. They can make other humans with their bodies. They can nourish those humans with their bodies. And so it makes a degree of sense that the very earliest, or some of the very earliest deities were fertility goddesses. And a figure emerges that our book, well, not really our book, but a book that I'm using excerpts of for the class, calls the Great Goddess. The Great Goddess is the maternal figure of power and strength that we see emerging in a lot of different ways across human culture. At first, in some of these stone figurines, but across all kinds of cultures. So Hinduism is a living religion, and there are many, many goddesses within Hinduism. The mother goddess in Hinduism is called Devi, and there are many different manifestations of Devi in Hinduism. You can see here, this is a very ancient goddess statue, I believe. This is a more modern interpretation of Devi. Devi is still studied, talked about, and this is a representation of Durga, which is the female divine power. Also many manifestations of Durga. The point being that Hinduism also has a very clear mother goddess, this Devi. And there are more readings about her this week. Coatlicue. She is the Aztec mother goddess, fearsome looking goddess with the head of a snake, sagging breasts because she has nourished many, many. She is the mother of everything alive. And you'll be reading more about her as well. She's got like one of the Hindu deities, she's got snakes, not only as part of her head, but also part of her wardrobe. She's got a skirt of snakes. So in West African tradition, in the Yoruba tradition, there's also a mother goddess. She's called Yemonja, or sometimes you see it as Yemoja. Oshun tends to be the goddess that seems to be the most prevalent in the Yoruba religion, but Yemoja is considered to be their mother goddess. She's associated with the ocean, she's associated with fish, she's associated with pregnant women, and people do feel that modern artists, you can see I have a picture of Beyonce here, have taken some of their inspiration from this Orisha. One of the things to realize about all of the different goddesses that we'll talk about is that all of them have elements of this first primordial, all-powerful mother goddess, female force within them, but it gets changed in interesting ways. You'll notice that Gia, or Gaia, is the first of all of the Greek gods. Her lover, Uranus, is also her son, from whom come the Titans, Kronos, and then ultimately Zeus. But everything starts in Greek mythology with a mother. And then gradually the goddesses lose power. They become subordinated. And this is a process that we see to varying degrees, and with some exceptions, across cultures. It's a theme that we'll revisit again at the end of the course. So this is just a really, really quick mini introduction to the topic for this week. We are going to be having a quiz on the readings. We're going to be having a writing journal that you'll submit directly to me, and then a group discussion. Your own post, the post that you're wanting the rest of the class to read, should always be posted by Thursday, and you're always required to reply and converse with your classmates. Those replies always have to be done by Sunday. All right, everybody. Well, I'm delighted to have you in the course, and I will be seeing you online. Thank you so much.